So everybody say we're in Sharei Orah. Before we start with Arkenu B'Kodesh, this right before we had the Hilula or Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem. I don't know, one thing got into another. I started talking about the Ari, and it says Hagid Ali She'ava Nafshi. I couldn't stop talking about it, but it was good. It was a positive thing because you guys learned a lot of new things from the Ari. Second of all, he's the Ari's cousin. He's the Ari's cousin. Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem. His last name is Luria Ashkenazi. Rabbi Eliyahu Luria Ashkenazi. He shortened it to Lofans. Lofans is Luria Ashkenazi. Oh, Loans, I'm sorry. Loans. Baal Shem. So Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem of Ashkenaz. So the Ari's family is from Germany. The Ari's family was from Germany. It was German.
Not from Egypt?
No. That was the Ari's mother's side. You're right, mother's side. But his father's side was German. And the Ari was cousins also with the Maharshal, Rabbi Shlomo Luria, who was one of the great poskim. Used to argue on the Gemara, the Maharshal. The Luria family, so why they called Luria? Because there was a river.
Luria.
Not Luria, something with an LR. I just forgot I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, and I'm just a stickler in these things. I don't like saying things that are not pronounced correctly. There was a river in Germany, the Luran, something like that, and they lived over there, that family. So they were called Luria Ashkenazi. That's why Rabbi Yitzchak Luria Ashkenazi, the Ari. The Ari's cousin, not cousin, but family member, because the Ari was before him, a bit before him.
Ashkenazi because German?
Ashkenazi means German. When you say Ashkenazi, it means Germany.
So that because his name was Ashkenazi because he's from Germany?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, Ashkenazi is German.
Now, the main city in Ashkenaz, the Ashkenazi family, they're not originally from Germany, they're originally from France. The Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem was a descendant of Rashi. He was a descendant of Rashi from his daughter. Rashi had no sons. And this rabbi, Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem, why was he called Baal Shem? Because he used to know the secret of kamiyas. He was a doctor. He had a title doctor. Yeah, when people wouldn't go to the doctor, they would go to him. Right? Exactly. So basically, he would write him kamiyot, and they would get healed. Yeah, he was a doctor, and he started the first chabura. Chabura is a group of tzaddikim nistarim. Their job was to go into the common folk and pick them up. Like, you guys are also tzaddikim, you guys also serve Hashem. And common folk, amei ha'aretzim. And also their job was to go into the yeshivot and spread Kabbalah secretly. Because the yeshivot were very against Kabbalah. Yeah, Ashkenazim. You can't learn it, you're not ready yet, this, that. Their job, he made this first, it's like a secret society, Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem. Your job is to do this and that, and they would always be on the run. From this city to this town, and he would go and he would send people to yeshivot, and they would teach in that, they would spread it, and like this would come out groups of people learning sod. I can't tell you a lot because I want to do Sharei Orah, but his student, one of his main students was Rav Yoel Baal Shem. Now he carried that name Baal Shem, meaning that he was also a master in the hidden arts, Kabbalah Ma'asi, not Kabbalah Ma'asi, practical Kabbalah, which is coming back in our generation. It's making a comeback in a positive way. A lot of new books are coming out. A lot of hidden manuscripts. A lot of peulot. A lot of Rav Yitzchak Kaduri's personal notebooks came out. A lot of interesting stuff came out. Yeah, Rav Yitzchak Kaduri, what he used to do, he used to know all the books because he was a bookbinder. So before he would give back a book, he would learn it. So he would try out things on people. He would see, let's say a guy had a headache that wouldn't stop. He would say, do ABC. So he would write in his notebook, I tried this on this guy, it didn't work. And then the guy would come back, he would give him a different pe'ula. it would work. He said, I tried this in this way, it worked. He has a book, he has 6 big books, they're like this thick each. And one section is just dedicated to She'elat Chaloms. Asking questions in your sleep. You go to sleep at night, you do a pi'ula, and they show you an answer. Rav Chaim Vital used to do it left and right. If you see his book Sefer HaChazionot, left and right. She'elat Chalom here, She'elat Chalom there, She'elat Chalom there.
You didn't need Google.
But the thing is, they give you the answer in a remez. Because a malach always gives you the answer in a remez. In a riddle, exactly. You have to figure out the riddle. A lot of times the riddle gets answered just like that. Like suddenly the thought pops into your head and boom, you make the connection. So there are some things, for example, you know for sure what the meanings of them are. Let's say you see a Sefer Torah in a dream. It has something to do with a Ben Zachai. If you see tefillin in your dream, it could either mean kids, or let's say you see specifically Rashi or Rabbeinu Tam. Let's say you see in your dream you're wearing tefillin de Rashi. You know it's Rashi. That means either there's a pagam in your tefillah, or either they want you to do something more in your tefillah. Or either your tefillah is not enough. You want something in your tefillah. Tefillin de Rashi is tefillah. It's Sod Rachel. If you see Rabbeinu Tam's, for example, it's Torah. It's Orah-25. They want something from you from the Sad Orah-25. Or always you see in your dream that you're dipping in a mikveh. Like this guy. Or let's say you see you're in a mikveh and the mikveh is empty.
That's not good.
What is no mikveh? Just the ocean, water.
Or you're in the water, exactly. Water. You understand? All these things have a meaning. If you wake up and it doesn't scare you, it bothers you. What does it mean? Why does this thing keep on coming to me? Or it keeps on coming to you, the same dream? It keeps on coming to you, but in a different way. But you're always in some kind of body of water. You understand? It depends. Water is usually Orah-25. Or it could be Orah-Malchut. But Malchut is always made by the Chokhmah. You understand?
Sometimes
it's
light water, sometimes dark water.
Light water, dark water, it could be many things. But what's interesting, if a person sees himself, for example, davening or wearing tefillin or saying Shema Yisrael in a dream, or he wakes up saying a pasuk, all these things mean something. We have to strive to get to that level. Rav Victor Miller used to say, because why are you guys so impressed by these rabbis who have these dreams and these chazionot? You know why they have it? Because they're always thinking about Hashem. You also always think about Hashem. You're also going to dream about it and think about it and wake up with it. That's what he used to say. Rav Victor Miller. HaKohen. He was a Kohen. So this Rav Eliyahu Baal Shem, his student was Rav Yoel Baal Shem. Rav Yoel Baal Shem, master in Kabbalah Ma'asit. His student was Rav Adam Baal Shem. He was the Rebbe of the Baal Shem Tov.
How did you say Baal Shem? Baal Shem.
The Baal Shem Tov got his name Baal Shem Tov because he would refrain from doing hashba'ot. When he would write a kamiyah, he wouldn't make a swear on Hashem's name. He would do it all be'emunah. One time in his life, the Baal Shem Tov made a swear to cross a river. He opened up the river. There's a big river. Remember we were in Ukraine, or Laser Brody pointed out this huge river. So the Baal Shem Tov was running away from the authorities over there for some kind of trumped up charge. And he had to split the river to go through. And he used Shem Hashem to split the river. All his life he did teshuvah on that. Until one day they told him in Shamayim, you lost your Olam Haba. He heard this bat kol that said you lost your Olam Haba, and he was so happy. And his students asked him, why are you so happy? He says, finally I can serve Hashem without wanting Olam Haba, without a reason. Finally I can serve Hashem without actually wanting something.
That's also the talk.
And
It's not him.
That was in Turkey. That was in Turkey.
That was in Turkey.
He was promising that guy kids and
Exactly. That's something else. That's not over here. Anyways, so the Baal Shem Tov was a direct student of the Rav Eliyahu Baal Shem, which was a cousin, a relative of the Arya Kadosh, the Luria Ashkenazi family. And what's interesting, I want to tell you one Chidush. I was meant to say it over there. We got so caught up in Pinchas, and we couldn't get to the Chidush. No, you could leave it. Here, it's part of Sharei Orah, because we're talking about Sfirot and everything. You understand? Abraham, the question is like this. The girls come from Midian and from Moab. It says it Mifarash in the Torah. The girls of Moab and the princesses of Midian came to to make Am Yisrael do the other. But you only see Hashem telling the Jews, go fight the Midianites. How come we shouldn't fight the Moabites? Okay, because they came out with bread and water. No, that was something else.
Because in the future,
That was we shouldn't get their land.
Because
But they listen, we gotta take some revenge. They kanood kinati.
because from them in the future, it is gonna come.
Ruth.
Ruth.
That's what Rashi says.
Oh.
That's Rashi's answer.
Oh. I
I
didn't
think-
You didn't know. That's Rashi's answer.
That's my-
Rashi's quoting Midrash when he says that. Rashi says because Hashem didn't want them to kill the girls over there, because out of one of them is going to come out Ruth in the future. There's a different answer. It's the answer of the Zohar HaKadosh. I saw it yesterday. I have a book of the Rebbe of Rav Avram Mazulai. It's called Emet LeYaakov. And he has nice chidushim on the Zohar. And the chidush he says like this. Not a chidush, he's explaining the Zohar. He says, Zohar says something interesting. Remember when Balak sends the dignitaries of Midian and Moab to Bilam?
Yeah.
And Bilam says, listen, I can't tell you yes or no. God, Hashem is my God. It means he admits that Hashem is my God. Whatever God will tell me tonight, I'll let you know. The next morning, who goes back home with him? Only the Moabite dignitaries, not the Midianite dignitaries.
What's the dignitary?
Representative.
Okay.
So the Zohar says the Moabites has more kavod for Hashem than the Midianim. When Bilam said to the dignitaries, Hashem will tell me what to do,
Unusually.
the Midianim says, who's Hashem bichlal? And they went home. Hashem said, you don't have respect for my name. When it's going to be the war, I'm going to send my people after you guys, and I'm not going to send them after the Moabim. That is a chidush from the Zohar HaKadosh, Parashat Balak. Whoever wants to know how Mashiach is going to come, by the way, the end of Parashat Balak in the Zohar, it's like 2 pages over there. He says a star is going to shoot forth. There's going to be 15 days of darkness. All the reforms are going to convert to what is the question? So now when we talked about Rabbi Baal Shem, I want all of you guys to light a candle for him tonight. There's a Lezecher Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem ben Rabbi Moshe. Ben Rabbi Moshe.
How many years ago?
שיהיה עלינו טוב שם משמן טוב.
How long ago he lived already?
He lived exactly 400 years ago. 400 years ago. He lived in the time of the great exiles of Vermisa, worms. Today, we could go visit his grave, by the way.
Where is he?
It's in Germany.
What Tammuz are we on?
We're 20 Tammuz. He passed away 20 Tammuz. He was buried 21st Tammuz.
It says 21st, yeah, Baal Shem.
He passed away 20 Tammuz. He was buried 21st.
But we're doing
When you're buried.
We have a lot of
When
plans.
is-
first year.
First year, exactly.
And then-
I do the 20 Tammuz.
Oh wait, so every yortzeit is when they were buried or when they
Just
passed?
the 1 year you
The
do
first
it
year
instead.
you do from the time of the
And then when
burial.
he passed away.
Yeah, but the next consequent years you should do from the
He
time of
died
death.
1636.
1636.
Born 1536. Oh, what? 100 years he lived? Oh, wow.
They say he lived 102 years. He says only 100 there?
Oh, yeah.
No, because they don't know when he was born.
It says
No.
1536.
This book has his
And it
real,
has a little bit of
of his grave.
The biography.
Yeah. My tzaddikim.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow. What's it, my tzaddik?
It's an app. You could see all the.
Did you make this app? No.
I should make an app like that.
Because you know the tzaddikim, right? You know, the very
I want to say something. I'm not gonna say. Okay, let's go back to the Malchut. Tov Shem. Shem is Malchut.
Oh, Shem, Shem, and
Yeah,
Tov.
Nishama. What's the middle letters of Nishama? Shem. What's in the Nishama? Shem. A name.
Shem, Shem? Like that's the Shem or just Shem? No, I feel like Shem, like Shem.
Shem. No, Shem. Shem.
Okay.
What does Hashem mean?
The name.
The name. Hashem is not his name.
The name.
If you believe Hashem, if you worship Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, that's also Avodah Zarah. You have to worship Hashem, the Ein Sof, who reveals himself through Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. Yud-Kei Vav-Kei is not, it's a letter, it's 4 letters.
I know.
When you're worshiping letters,
When you say Baruch Atah, you know, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei,
Ein Sof Baruch Hu Amitlabesh Be-Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. That's the difference between
Why,
a person who knows a little bit Torah Tasot, Abraham, and a person who never opened it up. So for a guy who's regular, I say, yeah, Hashem is Yud Kei Vav Kei, Hayal Vevi. Right? That's what we say. That's for a guy who all of his life just learns Gemara, Mishnah, Nachot. And lo sig Hashem is bezer. A person who wants to that kono, he wants to know Hashem. He knows Hashem is not a name. What's Hamakom? Who Hamakom? He's the Makom, right? You're in him. He's not in you. You didn't make the shul, so you should be in there. When we say we make a shul, actually, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're learning about. When we say we make a shul, and Hashem is in the shul, Gabriel, is Hashem in the shul? What's inside the shul?
You are, and he
Which
is.
sphera is in the shul?
Malchut.
Malchut is in the shul. It's the Mikdash. It's the revelation, because Hashem is everywhere. What is revealed in the shul is the hay, the last hay. What do you think? All right. So Keilu Hashchina Mishkano Mishkano Shekadosh Baruch Hu Yitbarach Yisrael. The Shechina, exactly. We were talking about it. We're reading about it. The Shechina is the Mishkan. It's the house. It's the tabernacle of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Yitbarach Bayad Yisrael. Ukshechat'u Yisrael lefanav v'nechrav habayit. And mamash, we're talking about the Chorban Habayit. We're inside Ben HaMitzarim right now. Mamash Torah Lishma. You see it, yes or no?
Yes.
It's mamash Torah Lishma, Abraham. Kshechat'u Yisrael v'nechrav habayit. You guys don't understand. If we're gonna live to see the Beit HaMikdash, you don't understand what level of prophecy you guys are gonna be in.
Why?
You have
Because
no
we're learning this stuff?
Exactly, because you already in that level to want to know Hashem. You're already in that level. You're gonna be flying when the Beit HaMikdash is gonna be here. You're gonna appreciate it.
I believe.
To a guy, all of his life he's learning Gemara. There's only what's a korban for him? What's a korban for him?
Physical.
It's often physical. Why should I bring a korban? Isn't tefillah much better? It's all right. It's all
Realistic.
But you understand that a korban connects you with all the levels of the bria, and you, when you put your hand, you do smicha, you say vidua on it. You're putting yourself in him. You're bringing him. You're ma'aleh man to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, to the Sfirot, and Hashem through the Sfirot is revealing Himself to you through that. Levim are singing at the same time, and there's Ketoret going on over there, and all the levels of creation are coming one, and this one small house in the middle, mamash in the middle of the world. To a regular guy, what does it seem like? It's a party. It's a chafla, you know. That's all. No, that's how people see it. Yeah, Zu Shashlik, exactly. People like us, you know, we want to know Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Right now is our test. When we come to Beit HaKnesset, do we see the spirituality in it? Right now is our preparation. Do we see the spirituality in it? We don't see it a lot. Should I tell you one thing he says?
Yes.
I'll find the page to read it to you. You know what he says? He says, I'm upset at my generation, he said.
Baal Shem?
The Rilal Baal Shem. He said,
Wait, that was 400 years ago.
yeah. What he upset? He said, they didn't speak Yiddish in his time, you know that.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yiddish is
Yiddish is a new thing. Mama Loshen.
I want to see this generation.
You know what he said over here? He said, I'm upset at my generation. For what? Gam migavoa yiru. We're also zochet to learn his Torah. B'Shabbat. Minhag kadmonenu. He's speaking about the minhag in Germany 400 years ago. The minhag of my fathers, which is the fathers of the Ari too, which goes up to Rashi. Shelo laharot, not to show yourself to any human being. Rak lelech lebet haKnesset, lachzor labayit v'yoshvim bevatehem v'lomdim Torah. That's what they used to do. Go home, daven, go home, learn. Day was for eating and learning Torah and davening.
And he was upset at
He's excited. Achshav omdim al petach. They all stay by the mezuzot of their house. Umedabri b'nei adam, divrei havai, stock market, house prices. Sha'asurim balav hachi ledaber. Anyways, it's asur to speak. You're not allowed to speak on Shabbat anyways. You're not allowed to speak on Shabbat anyways. It's asur, right? ובעבור שהוא שבת אסור לדבר דברים האלו. says Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem. וראיה, what's his ראיה? מהמקושש עצים, from the guy, the first Mechalel Shabbat, the one who was gathering the wood. שייך חטאו שידבר יכול בשבת. He understands that his chet was not that he actually gathered the I think his you know what he said what his avera was? That he was speaking about doing Chilul Shabbat. You heard about this before. You did. You understood. And we said he's the Ari's thing. This is the part. Ken shamati mipi she'eri. That's all I heard from my cousin. Ha'eloki harav Luria Mitzvat. Huh? שבא פעם אחד לברמישה. Because the Ari once made Kfisat HaDerech to Worms, Germany. Yeah. From Tzfat, Germany.
When they use Kfisat HaDerech, did they take them from the merits? No. From the Zchuyot? No.
You don't worry about their Zchuyot.
Okay.
They got enough. They have
They want the next Zchuyot.
Yeah. No, there's a famous story that he made Kfisat HaDerech, Ari made Kfisat HaDerech to Worms, to Germany. There was some whole big case over there. They needed his help. Don't forget, he lived for 38 years. We only know, from what we know in his life, is only 2 years. We don't know anything else about his life. Who knows what he did the other years? Yeah, it's lots. The whole Sefer, the whole Ari is the last 2 years of his life. We don't know anything else about him.
This is said 400 years ago. Imagine what he was today.
You know what he says over here?
Yes.
Something crazy. You know what he says over here? You know what he says, Rabbi Eliyahu Baal Shem? Once again, I'm not going to find a page. That the Jews in Germany were there from the first Beis HaMikdash.
Germania?
The German, and we from history we always say they've been there from the Italian Galut, from the second Beis HaMikdash. Apparently, there was always been a Jewish president in Worms, Germany.
Which heaven?
Huh?
Which
I
heaven?
have no idea. But it says over here that they were punished from that. Germany always had a lot of Yerushim. They exiled them a lot. They always the Goyim always punished them a lot. It's because they also didn't want to go up with Ezra Sofer to Eretz Israel. We always have a Temanim, we say that. But I'll show you the page. I'm not going to find it right now. It's in the beginning. He says that by the Jews in Germany. Obviously, that comes from what he says. That's the makor. That's the real makor. Anyways.
The Kohanim only used to write, or no?
Of course.
So everything about the mesh only Kohanim.
Only Kohanim. Only you bring out the Levim used to sing and close and open the doors and be watchers, and the Yisraelim would bring the korbanot.
No, but Avodat Mikdash, nothing. Yisraelim didn't know Avodah whatsoever.
Shchita they're allowed to do. Shchita b'zar mutar.
Even if it's Bechor, לא קשור, כן?
מה זה קשור בכלל, אה?
No, because they said...
לא בפנים, לא?
בפנים, קורבן פסח, כל הקורבנות לפנים שאני מביא בעצמי, אני יכול לשחיטה בעצמי. That was the halacha that Shmuel said in front of Eli. Eli forgot the halacha, and then Eli said, "This boy, he's a Orah halacha lifnei rabo." Svidanya. And then Chana said, "The nar hazeh itpalalti. I prayed for this kid. Don't take his look how they used to be makpid for if you would say halacha." Unbelievable. This is Hashem's Mishkan, Hashem's tabernacle in the hands of Am Yisrael, and He takes them to Galut. Mishkan ha'edut. The Mishkan, the Bet Knesset is Hashem's testimony. Every place there is 10 Jews, the Shekhinah is with them. It's unbelievable. Galu leMitzrayim, Shekhinah ma'hem. They went to Mitzrayim, the Shekhinah is with them. שנאמר, נגלתי לבית אביך ביתה ממצרים, וכתובי, אנוכי ארד עמך מצרים, I will go down with you to מצרים. גלו לבבל, שכינה עמהם. They went to Bavel, the Shekhinah is with them. God's name is with them. God's presence is with them. I don't want you guys to get confused. I'm saying Hashem is not His name. Hashem revealing Himself, just without anything, without any veil, would be instant death. That's what happened on Har Sinai. The Shekhinah just came down 10 tfachim. There was more of a revealment of Hashem, 10 tfachim. Just 10 tfachim. Masechet Sukkah. And everyone died. Twice. Twice. When a Navi would have prophecy,
Almost death experience.
he would have a near-death experience. His body would shake. He would go crazy. He would act crazy. You understand? He would go into epileptic shock. You understand? Like he would just move like he would act like crazy. Only Moshe was the only one. Like he would speak like freely. He would speak only because he had a nevuah from the Tiferet. From Sharei Tiferet. It's a good question. We don't know. I never seen any open.
No, but they also used to get them out through a sleep. So how would that work? Were they conscious?
There's two ways to understand Mashiach.
You can't be conscious.
One way we can learn the coming of.
Your head, so you don't. But they used to get through a sleep, so they don't feel it. No.
It's not that they were sleeping. It was a sleep-like state. They weren't fully conscious. They weren't fully conscious. No, they wouldn't. It says Hagam Shaul ben Nevi'im. Is Shaul also in the Nevi'im? Why? He saw a whole group of Nevi'im coming out. They were prophesying. That prophecy doesn't just mean you see the future. Prophecy means you're speaking to Hashem. Shaul sees them and he had such a big neshama just by seeing them and seeing their ecstasy. He just joined in them, and he started to strip naked. Gadaev. He took off all of his clothes, and everyone is like, he didn't say he's crazy. He said, Agam Shaul ben Nevi'im? Is Shaul also a Navi? They would know yet. There was no need to learn Gemara back then. There was no Gemara. Everything was halacha psuka. It was halacha l'maisa. You understand? What would they spend their whole day with? Knowing Hashem. That's what they would spend their day knowing. How is his Merkava? How is his thing? How is his chariot? What name works here? What name works there? Halacha was natural for them. What does it say B'Chizkiyahu HaMelech? A child knew halachot of Tumah v'Tahara. What? Just his generation? Of course, even Tanaim and do you know Rabbi Chanina Bar Chama, the Rosh Hashiach, did a Nasi after Rav Afas? He was a Nazir from 4 or 5 years old. He was a Nazir. His father made him a Nazir, and then Rabbi said, you can't make him a Nazir. You can't put a neder on a kid. Right? So he said, don't worry, Rabbi. 5, 6 years old he was. He said, I take upon myself Nazirut.
How old was he?
He was like 5, 6 years old. Yeah, it was Chana. Yeah. Because once the father puts it on him, and the child just has to accept if he knows what he's saying. You understand? He was a Nazir all of his life. So this is different. And in one way, our generation is totally different than other generations. Why? Even the Am Haaretz today could learn the Solat Torah. Nothing is stopping him just to go to a bookstore. That's just the only thing that's stopping him. On the other hand, the materialism in our generation is so great that we can't look beyond it. We can't look beyond the materialism. It's hard. We need to go to work. We need to buy that. And they didn't have these kind of stuff. Yeah, convertible. Mamash. I never seen the.
There's no kite in that.
What's the kite?
You're burning, no AC, nothing works.
What's the kite? I don't get it. What's the
convertible?
Kite? What? Motorcycle, scooter. What's the kite? I don't get it. Jump out of the speed? Serious? The rush? Hashem is with Hashem's name. So when we say Hashem's name is with us, Hashem's revelation is with us. Hashem, to reveal himself with us, he created a name. What's the closest thing we could to call him? Havaya, which means I will, and I was, and I always will be.
You could say that,
Havaya, you could say, yeah. And what's the month that's Havaya? Chodesh Av. The only configuration of Hashem's name that you're allowed to say his name is Chodesh Av. Havaya. There's one more configuration you could say, Vehaya.
It's his name backwards.
Vehaya. Those are the two configurations, but Havaya everyone says. Havaya. No one says Vehaya. Because Havaya, Vehaya means...
You don't really say Baruch Atah Amuna, you don't say Baruch Atah Havaya.
But I want to say Hashem's name. What do I say? Baruch Atah. I say, Havaya said. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, you ever see one of his sichot? You should. A lot of chokhmah. He always used to say, he wouldn't say Hashem, he would say Havaya. Like it Havaya. He would think of the configuration. What, if you do that, you're going to be a Mishuga? No, you're looking at me like, well, I have to do that right now? I have to say Havaya? No, you see, he said it with such conviction. Like, I have to say Havaya? Don't say anything. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What do you want? Anyways, Galulu Aveshkira, man. I say Hashem, what? You're telling me say That's it. Shene'emar, V'samti kis'i be'elam. I put my seat in Elam. Elam is Persia. Galula Edom, Shechina imehem. Shene'emar, mi ze ba me'edom? Who's coming from Edom? Hopefully very soon. Shehen chozrin, when they come back to Eretz Yisrael, Shechina imehem. Hashem is with them. Everyone says it's coming very soon. The only question is when. But this is that Rav Uri Zohar. His shloshim was 2 days ago. He said, "What's the problem? People wanting Mashiach so much. What's the problem? Mashiach is coming. Let's stop our lives. Let's not do anything anymore. I don't have to. No, I don't have to live my life. I don't have to get married. I don't have to find a parnasa. Mashiach is coming. The end is near. That's a guy who doesn't want Mashiach.
No.
Because Mashiach's time is avodah. You have to get yourself used to avodah. There's just something as regular avodah. Even regular avodah, everything is avodah kodesh. Only a Ma'aretz thinks when he goes to not you. A Ma'aretz thinks when he goes to work, it's avodah kodesh. Well, let's say you work right now in a chicken place. You sell chicken. Every time you pick up the chicken, how do you say chicken in Hebrew? Off. What's the gematria of off? Yosef, 156. You could have kavanah every off that you're picking up, that you're serving, you're mitaken your brit. What do you think of Meyached? What do you think of Mikubal is? What is a real Mikubal? What do you think he is? Everything here. He has a mafteach, he thinks poteach et yadecha. He opens up a door, he thinks poteach et yadecha. What else is he supposed to think of? What else? His neighbor? What is he supposed to think of? Stocks? You understand what I'm saying? He takes a sefer, he thinks, I'm picking up right now a sfira. He wears his tefillin, it's Orah-25. All of his life, all he thinks of is Hashem. So what does he happen? He dreams of Hashem. You think of it. You dream of it, exactly. You're going to think of Lamed Yud Taf. You're going to dream of her too. Chas v'shalom. It's not chas v'shalom. You doing it to yourself. There's no chas v'shalom here. You guys we're all looking for itaruta de la'ela. We're looking for Hashem to open the door. Hashem doesn't want us to do that. Hashem wants itaruta diltata. We have to wake up the awakening. Not itaruta de la'ela. Diltata.
Isn't tata?
Dil. Huh? Diltata means from under.
No, his mom.
Huh? No, Tati is Papi. Papa. Okay. Let's finish the paragraph and we'll call it a night. When we come back to Eretz Yisrael, Shechina imahem. There's a lot of secrets tonight. This year has to have 100 people easy. Easy as that. But we have same 100. How many views do you have on Sharei Orah? At least 100 every single shiur. At least. The same people. Same people. Every single shiur.
It's the quality.
Every single shiur, the same people. That's 100 people you guys are changing their lives. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't give this shiur online. That's 100 people you guys' lives are changing every single shiur like this. You understand? And the secret to this is I'm coming with a lot of background. So I'm giving you the right way of looking at stuff. Understand? Mashiach is coming. Let's stop our life. No. Mashiach is coming. Let's ask for more avodah. You understand? Mashiach is going to come. We have a mitzvah aseh in the Torah to build a Beit HaMikdash. Today, how do we do that?
Donation.
By building Beit Knesset. You understand? But let's say there's a Beit HaMikdash right now. We have a mitzvah aseh midoraita to help build the Beit HaMikdash.
Right, to pay.
How come there's a Kotel HaMaravi?
Only all Israel is going to chip in. Kol Am Yisrael ייתנו כסף.
הכל chip in! תגיד את השכם שלך, מה זה chip in?
We're all going to fight. Who's going to help? But everybody's going to help to do it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be enough for all of us to build the Beit HaMikdash?
Now, before you just wanted to give a donation, now you want to ask who's
I want to be the one that build the...
The Aron was sponsored by Mama Schnitzel.
to build build a Hechal, you have to be a Tzadik Yesod Olam. What's it? Hechal is a lo Olam Pashut. You understand? Listen,
It's a good advertisement.
יבוא משיח. למה משיח come? We're gonna work regular, like what? Regular people, regular
You're
stores?
gonna work more.
I'll tell you like this, you won't want to work.
Okay.
So what, you can
You'll need to work. You'll need to,
Can
but
you
you
work
won't
like
want.
this?
I already don't want to work.
Can I work like this?
Who's stopping you? Babula, who's stopping you?
תורה זה עבודה, רבי.
אה?
אם אני לומד תורה כל הימים.
עבודה זה תפילה. עבודה זה תפילה.
No, but I say you need to work. What if somebody wants to learn? Is that would be easier when Mashiach comes or no? Okay,
What do you want? What do you want? I want to understand this sentence. I want to learn.
No, let's say if you want
What's
a job-
stopping you to go to the bookshelf? What does that mean? I want
He
to
wants his
learn.
profession to be
I want to
a
know what
caller.
that means.
No, I say I want to be a caller. But I said, would it be easier?
What does
to
that
learn?
mean? What does that? I don't understand what that means.
Would it be easier to learn?
I want to know what that
responsibility?
means. What that
You
means.
would have more
Do
responsibility.
you do a cheshbon nefesh?
Sometimes.
No, not on the. Do you have a notebook at home and you write what you do from the morning to afternoon to night? Do you have a notebook like this?
No, but
I don't want to swear in the name of Yudke Lavke. I don't want to swear. But if you're gonna do a cheshbon nefesh, do you know how? If you don't have a wife and kids,
You have no excuse.
you have at least easy. I don't care you have a business or not 6 hours a day to learn Torah.
Two is not enough, yeah?
If you learn less than 2 hours and you're a married person with kids, matzavcha bish. If you learn less than 2 hours a day and you have a wife and kids, with a wife and kids you learn less than 2 hours a day, your matzav
So
is
if you
not
don't have a
good.
wife like this, go shake up.
If you don't have a wife and kids, you should be hidden in it 6 hours.
Yeah, is good.
Easy 6 hours you should be learning.
I'm thinking about it, one second.
I want to learn Torah. I want to learn
3
Torah.
hours.
Pick your tuchas up and go learn. What are you? Who's stopping you?
No, but
Stalin.
no,
Stalin is
no,
stopping you.
One second, I bet you did.
What's the other guy's name? What's the other chamor's name? The one in the ice coffin that's in the kafakela for eternity. Lenin. Lenin is stopping you.
All I'm saying is that now you have responsibility. Mashiach come will be easier with the responsibility.
Don't worry. When he comes, hakol yeh tov.
We're not gonna be.
That's what I'm saying. Worry about Achshav. Before let's talk about there. Let's get there.
He'll get you married.
שנאמר, ושב השם אלוהי את שבותך ויחלל. You know, the Ari HaKadosh says, the tikkun right now, the tikkun of the Shekhinah, we're learning about the Malchut. Shekhinah is called Leah v'Rachel. Leah v'Rachel. Leah is higher than Rachel. She's higher than Rachel.
She's the old man.
She's higher. Because Yaakov wanted to marry Rachel because he wasn't in the level yet to marry Leah. You understand? When he was in the levels, who's buried with Yaakov? Leah, not Rachel. Rachel is buried on the way. Right? Even though we're all children of Rachel, right? We're called children of Rachel. Ma'ashchina, from the Malchut. Only because we haven't reached the level of Leah.
So now it's hard.
Leah is Torah. Rachel is Tefillah. Rachel is Tzion. Leah is Yerushalayim. Leah is Anava. Rachel is Yirah. The Ari says what Anava made a heel for her leg, Yirah made a crown for her head.
It says that.
You understand? That means there is a place of connection between them. At that head of Rachel, the keter of Rachel is the Raglayim, is the Malchut of Leah. And you know where they're standing? In the Vak, in Zah, right at the Tiferet.
Taboo.
And who's in the Tiferet? Yaakov. Torah tzivah lanu, Moshe morashat kilat Yaakov. Learning Torah is not I want to.
You have.
It's your life.
You must.
That means there should never be like. Let's take what Eliyahu Baal Shem said over here on Shabbat. Shabbat comes. How much it burns me inside when I look outside my window and I see people sitting out over there. And they're just baltine for 3-4 hours.
Still learning.
It burns me inside. You know when I wake up from my nap on Shabbat, if I take a nap, you know how much it burns me inside? I just burn 2 hours of Shabbat. Besides what the Ari said, somebody's supposed to sleep on Shabbat, that's for the Ari.
You should go down and give them a
You
shoe.
understand? And what? There's 30 women over there. I should go down there in front of 30 women and give a shiur?
They try to
I don't give a shiur to the woman in this shul. I'm going to give a shiur to 30 women over there. Are you kidding me? of Shalom Shavadron, says the Rav, I wouldn't give a shiur, and this was 70 years ago, to women, and back then everybody was b'tzniut. I'm going to give a shiur. Those rabbis who give shiur, maybe they have neshama from Atzilut. Well, my neshama is not from Atzilut. You understand? Why you got to put yourself in the fire? You understand what I'm saying? It's not my job. It's one thing, your husbands are here and your wives are over there, once in a blue light. To go there, it's not my job. You understand? We have to look for how do we get to the end goal. If Mashiach is not going to come in our lifetime, are we going to be embarrassed when we get up there? We all know we're not taking the monopoly money with us. We all know that. So then what are we fighting for all this time? What's that one story I heard? Whatever, there was this one big gvir, and he was very close to the king. Oh, I read this in his new sefer that I got, or Naftali Katz, the Bas Smichat Chachamim, big mikubal, huge. He said there was one story, one guy, he was a big gvir.
What's a gvir?
Gvir,
Rich,
very rich,
Oh, okay.
and the Catholic bishop, said to the king, this guy, he's not your ahuf. He doesn't like you. If you want him to really see if he likes you, ask him how much money you really have in the bank. You know the truth because you have all the CIA. He doesn't know what you know. Like today, they say, yeah, everything's end-to-end encrypted. They all know what's going on in your life, right? When they need to know. Today they found a new katava. Amazon has your personal search engine, and the FBI has been using it. Just today, came out on regular news that they see what you're searching on Amazon.
No, it's not a secret.
Yeah, what do you say?
Who knew? You didn't know. You didn't know it. What?
I don't think.
But this guy, so the king says, you know what? I believe in him. I like this guy. He's a good guy. He asks him. He says maybe 1/10 of his fortune. The king gets angry. The bishop says, let me punish him for you. I'm going to make there's a place where they burn all the garbage. There's a fire over there. Send him over there. Said that you do what the king said. You guys know the story from the Rambam. They misquoted the story. It's not with the Rambam. It's the time the Smichat Chachamim. They sent him over there. Then the way it was a Brit Milah. He stops by the Brit Milah, gets drunk over there, falls asleep, wakes up in the morning, oh my God. Meanwhile, the bishop is happy. He says to the king, I'm going to go check if they make nice shashlik out of him. He goes over there to do what the king said. They took the bishop, he was a big guy, fat. They took him and they made such a ala ish out of him. They mamash.
So like a
Exactly. Meanwhile, he wakes up in the morning, he goes over there. You guys didn't hear the end of the story. You guys heard the fake version of the Rambam. This is the real story. And he goes to, it says, did you do that? He says, yeah, we did what the king said. What did you do? Look, you don't see, the bones are left over here. He found out what was going to happen, and he went to the king, so probably the king wanted to kill him because they lied to him. He goes to the king, whatever, the emperor, whatever it was over there, the prince. He says to him, you know, my king, I don't know what happened, it was a mix-up, but you know, this is my true fortune, but you didn't understand what I meant. The king said, but why did you lie to me? You think I didn't know how much you make, how much you have? He says, you see, we Jews, we believe in one thing. The money we make in this world is all monopoly money. It's not our money. The tzedakah that we give, that's what we take with us. I told you how much money I gave to tzedakah in my lifetime. If you want to test me, look at my tzedakah pinkas. He takes his cheshbona tzedakah, opens it up, boom, comes out the same exact money that he said to the king. The king said, I'm very sorry for what I did to you. And I see how Hashem saved your life. And you respect the Kodesh Baruch. It was a big Kiddush Hashem. It's a true story. Time of the Smichat Chachamim. That's how the story really ends. We all know the story with the Rambam, but it wasn't with the Rambam. It was with this, I forgot his name, Rabbi Yisrael something like that. That's what I'm saying. We're not going to go out with our house over here. We do it, yeah, you know, the Shalom Bayit. But the truth is that we're all going to go over there with this Torah that we're learning here today. If you would know, you wouldn't leave the Beit HaKnesset. You wouldn't leave it, the Beit HaKnesset. The only reason we leave is because we have to do Priya V'Reviyah, all the other mitzvot. We have to do those things too. You understand? Like One guy stopped me in the mikveh. Remember my last year with the Torah Chacham? How he was changing diapers, and he was crying, how come he changed the diapers? The student of the Rashash. I was in mikveh this past Shabbat. One guy stopped me over there. He said, I listened to your shiur. I said, oh, very nice. Shar koach. And he said, wow, what you said to the Torah Chacham, how could one of the greatest Mekubalim cry for such a thing? Our priorities are not right now. Our priorities are not right. This is the chizuk. To be mitchazik, we should mitchazik each other. When I read the Torah Chacham stuff, how they made the shtarit kashrut ben hachachayim, how they always love each other. Oh, what a thing! If only such a beautiful thing to help each other, to daven for each other. In the thing, we're a bit far from that. We're a bit far from that. No, I didn't say we don't love each other. I didn't say that. I didn't say it's about ahava. I'm sure there's a lot of ahava, but to give each other from our own personal, that's already, you need to have mamach ahava. You understand what I'm saying? Let's finish the paragraph. וחשיב לא נאמר אלא ושב ואומר איתי מלבנון כלה, you're going to come with me from Lebanon, to Lebanon my כלה. רבי מאיר אומר like a king שאמר לעבדו אם תבקשני הריני אצל בני, if you ask me I'm with you, שאומר השוכן איתם בתוך טומאתם, Hashem is with us in our טומאה. Wow, what a sentence. השוכן איתם בתוך טומאתם, Hashem is with us in our טומאה. Is that what he just said over here? You didn't understand. ובטמאם את משכני אשר בתוכם, when he's gonna, see, Hashem says, bring the korban on Yom Kippur because you made my mishkan tameh. Rabbi Yosef is saying, no, you're not reading it right. Read it in a positive way, that you're metameh my mishkan, that I am with you in it. That means even when you're metameh yourself, I'm still with you. Unbelievable. ואומר, ולא יתמו את מחניהם אשר אני שכן בתוכם, ספר במדבר. ואומר, ולא תטמא את הארץ אשר אתם יושבים בה, כי אני השם שוכן בתוך בני ישראל. That means Hashem is only upset us because He's with us at the same time. How do you not know that I'm with you when you're doing the Avera? If it's Levatala, if it's Keri, Chas v'Shalom, Machshavot Ra'od, everything that is an Avera that everybody unfortunately goes through every single day, especially he's a Benoni. You can't run away from such a thing. But Hashem is with you at that second when you're doing the Avera. And He still stays with you, because where is He going to go? He's everywhere. You're in Him, He's not in you. ונקרא מידה זו אוהל מועד. This is the midah called אוהל מועד בכל התורה. וכלל הדבר, כי זה בית השם ובו שוקד. It's the house of Hashem and in it Hashem stays. ואנו דכתיב, ויקרא אל משה וידבר השם אליו מאוהל מועד לאמור. כל מי שמדבר עמו על ידי אוהל, זה מדבר עמו. When you come to shul to speak to him, that's what the halacha is when you daven. Even if you daven alone, daven in a shul. Even if you daven alone, you have to pray in a shul. Because if you daven in a shul, you speak there from the oil moed. Over here, Shekhinah is revealed. אבל משה רבינו נכנס בתוך האוהל מדבר עם השם פנים אל פנים. Moshe was on a higher level. שנאמר בבוא משה אל אוהל מועד דבר איתו. בתרגום אוהל משכנה. משכנה means שוכן, to live with him. הוא סוד שכינה. שכינה is the revealment. That means Shekhinah means in modern Hebrew, what is how do you say a neighbor? Shachen. Why does he call a neighbor a shachen? Because he's next to you. What is a Shekhinah? He's next to me. It's what you want. It's called a Shekhinah. What does the Gemara Masechet Brachot said? Even one person is walking, speaking Torah. Shekhinah yemo. We're all looking for Et Ratzons, Gabriel. Et Ratzons we're looking for. When you're going home today, speak Divrei Torah. That means the Shekhinah is with you. Ask from Hashem a wish.
Why, I think if you repeat this.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Rabbi Yisai? Yeah, when you guys walk outside of here, it's all going to fly out of your brains. Like the Luchot, that all the letters all flew out of the Luchot. I'm walking outside. The what was his name? One of the greatest tzaddikim, the student, the Ramban. His book came out not long ago. So the Otiyot. I want to say Rabbi Pano. It's forgot his name. He's gonna come to me. He said even if you say the worst pasuk in the Torah, the mother of, not the worst, Chas v'Shalom, but the pasuk, kind of like the mother of Amalek. What pasuk is that? Ve'achot Lotan Timna. Timna is the mother of Amalek. It's a pasuk in the Torah, and the sister of Lotan is Timna. You just walk outside. V'achot lo tantimna, v'achot lo tantimna, v'achot. You're doing divrei Torah every second. And the Shekhinah is with you, ask for a wish. And we're over here, we're complaining. Shacharit is 5 minutes late. Shacharit is 20. Rabbi Isai, we're far from reality. Far from reality. Far. ועניין מועד מלשון בית הוועד וזימון, כלומר שהשם מזומן תמיד בו. What does oil מועד mean? מלשון ועד, מלשון זימון. That Hashem is always, Hashem not only is with us, He's מזומן. He's waiting for you to call him. Yes, what's מזומן? זימון. והוא בית הוועד שלו, והיו דכתיב ונועדתי לך שם, in the בית הכנסת, in the בית המקדש, that's where he reveals himself to you and he's ready for you to call. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן.